Hello everyone, welcome to Wing Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our first set of alternatives for the April 2026 paper pumpkin kit called Lakeside Retreat. And here are the 9 adorable cards that you could have made had you done this as intended. But we're going to change things up a little bit around here and do some alternatives. So let's get started. While I'm getting our first one out here, if I could ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, and hit that like button while you're at it, because it really means a lot to me. So, we're going to start with a card base today that is gray granite, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to give this a nice burnish here, so we can make sure that lays nice and flat. We've got a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. We have half of one of the card bases that came in the kit. There's this beautiful wood grain. And we trimmed this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And it's going to be our first layer here. At least I think I trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4. You know what? Maybe we should check this because I'm not so sure I did. I thought about it. Alright, so it looks like it's 5. Yep, we need to take just a little bit off the bottom here. Okay, now we're at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so this is going to be our first layer. And then we've got a circle that came in the kit. Kind of looks like, you know, my favorite dies. It looks like this came from the Spotlight on Nature, but it didn't. It came in the kit. We're going to use that. We're going to use this circle with this really cute cabin scene here on the lake. And we've got a little sentiment piece here that also came in the kit. So, let's start with our stamping. We're going to stamp in some pecan pie today. And on our little piece here, we are going to use the stamps that came in the kit. Actually, they look like this. There's a thanks. Older, wiser, better, you are a lifesaver, you're an inspiration, dad, son, happy birthday, happy Father's Day, and then there's some birds and this little pattern here, and then some cattails. So, we're going to use, for this one, I think we will do, let's see, what do we want to do? Do we want to do a thank you card, or do we want to do a birthday card? I think this one we're going to do a birthday card. So we're going to do older, wiser, better on the front. And we will do happy birthday on the inside. So let me get that off of here as well. Okay, so we're going to block these up here. I'm going to do happy birthday on this block and our older, wiser, better on this one. And I haven't used these yet, so I'm going to go ahead and condition these and just try to get that film that comes on the photopolymer stamps off of them, because you will get a much better image if you condition that a little bit. So you just rub it on your hand or your jeans or whatever. Okay. So we're going to go right down here and see if I can get this centered up here without getting my head in the way. Because nobody wants to see the top of my head, I promise. Okay, so we've got older, wiser, better. Perfect. And then we're going to do happy birthday on the inside. And you know what? I didn't season this one, so let me just grab a scratch piece of paper here. I'm just gonna, you can do this too if you want to season it. You can just use a piece of paper. So let's just try this out and see what kind of a image we get. Looks pretty good. Okay. All right, let's line this up here. And we're just going to do happy birthday right here in the middle. Perfect. All right, I'm going to put this ink away. I'm just going to check because, you know, I'm so messy. All right, so let's get our inside piece put on the inside here. So we'll just get some glue on this. We're just going to put that right in here. Center that up. Okay, now back on the outside, we're going to put our first layer here of wood grain down, centered up on the front. Okay, perfect. Now, this piece is next, so our decorative circle here is going to go right like this. And we'll put this in the middle here. This has to qualify as one of those easy button cards because this is just too easy and too quick. All right, now for the little piece here, our little sentiment piece, I want to pop this up on some dimensionals. So let me find our little mini dimensionals because this isn't very wide here. So let's just use some little ones. And the last but not least, when I get the, whoops, get the backs off of here, we will put some bling on this and we will be done. Can't beat that. Okay, so we're just going to put this right down here underneath of our circle. So just, that needs to come over just a tad. Let me see if I can get that off there. Just want to center it up, and it wasn't quite centered. All right, that looks much better. Okay, so there is our card. All right, now let's get some of this. I have some of these gems here that, what are these, sequins? That I seem like I've been trying to get rid of forever. And I'm not having any luck, and this is still not straight, and it's going to bother me. Does that look better? I think that looks better. Okay, now let's use our darker colored ones here. I'm going to do a couple right there. Ooh, and we'll do a one down here. How's that? There we go. Perfect. All right, next, but not least, we are going to do this one here. So we're going to start with a piece of old olive that is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored this at 5 1/2 and again at 4 1/4. We're going to make what they call a bookbinding card here because it's going to open up and look like a book. So let's see what we have here. We're going to need to cut this down because I forgot to cut that down, but that's okay. We'll do that in a second. So we are going to use this piece which came in the kit. This was just a cutout that came just like that. This was part of one of the card bases that I cut down to 1 by 4, and this is going to go on our little edge here. So let's see what we've got here. So let's get this down first. Okay, so this is going to go right here, right like this. Scoot that down just a smidge. Okay, so there's that. Now, I've got a piece of old olive ribbon here, and that's just what it's called. It's just called Old Olive, and it has this really pretty scallop pattern to it. So we're going to put that down here. Let's see, what do we want to do? We're going to use some, what are we going to use here? We're going to use some tear and tape. So let me, it actually came with some in the kit. So let's open this. And we are going to take a couple of pieces of this. And let's see, we don't need a very big piece, so just a couple of really tiny pieces here. And we're going to take this and put this right in here against the edge, the top edge and the bottom edge. Just like that. We're going to give those good burnishes. And then we're going to peel these backings off of these. Okay, and then we're going to take our ribbon, and I'm just going to lay this right, well, let's center it up if we can. So like right there, I'm going to wrap this around here, just like this. And we're going to pull this to the other side. Again, trying to make sure we're in the center. So just like that. I'm going to trim this off because we don't need all that excess in there. Okay, so I don't know if you all caught that or not, but I managed to cut my finger as I was snipping the ribbon, so I had to run and get a band-aid. So anyway, so back to what we were doing here. So we're going to take this now and we're going to put some glue in here, just like this. And we're going to just close that up, push that down, okay? Perfect. All right, now, next we're going to take, we've got a piece of soft seafoam that is 4x4, and it's going to go right here in the middle. So that'll be our next piece. Let's see, so we're going to put some glue on this, and we'll get that down right in here, just like that. Okay, next is going to be our focal piece here that came in the kit, and then that's going to go right in the middle here. Let's straighten this up a little bit. It's a little crooked. Okay, let's see here. Just like that. Looks pretty good. All right, we're going to press that down. Now, our white piece that's going to go on the inside is going to be 4x4. So we need to cut this down because this is not 4x4. So let's do 4x4 here. All right, now before we put this in there, we're going to stamp on this. So for this one, we're going to make this a thank you card. So we made our first one a happy birthday card. So this one we're going to do thank you. So I'm going to get the thanks stamp out here. And for the front, we're going to put, let's see. Let's put, you are a lifesaver. Okay, and somewhere we had a piece of, let me see what I did with, oh, here it is. I'm like, I had a piece that we were going to stamp on. All right, so here's our two stamps. Let me get a block here. Let's see. Let me just clean this stamp that we used a second ago. And this one as well, just because I want to use these same blocks again. So I'm going to take these stamps off, and we're going to put these over here on our carrier sheet so they don't end up in the pile of, you know, orphaned stamps here on my desk. All right, so let's do our You're a Lifesaver. Line that up, pick that up. We're just gonna season that. And then our thanks. We'll pick this up and we'll season this one. All right, we're going to stamp in Old Olive for this one. And let's do our thanks on the inside. So let's see, right there looks pretty good. Oh, my poor finger. I did a number on it, let me tell you. Okay, one more. So this one says you're a lifesaver. Let me see, we'll get this on here. So right down, hopefully this will be centered. There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to put the ink away. And let's see if I can finish this card without getting blood everywhere. It's not good. I need to go get another Band-Aid already. All right, so we're going to put some glue on here. And we're going to put this right down in the middle. So just like that. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then back here, we're going to do, actually, you know what? We're going to pop this up on some baby mini dimensionals. So let's do this. We'll get a couple of them on here. Oops, we have extras. We had a hitchhiker. Let's see here. There we go. All right, let me get the backs off of these. Okay, one more. Two more. One more now. Okay, let me get those out of the way. We're just going to put this right down here on the sand. Perfect. All right, let me clean up my mess here. All right, now I've got some of these iridescent foil gems that we're going to use on this one. So let's see what we've got here. We're going to do a big one. And let's put that right here. Whoops. And the putty is not supposed to stick to the gem. Let's see. Get that off of there. Oh my goodness. There we go. I got it. So there's that one. And we'll do a little one right here next to it. And one more little one over here. All right, and there is our card. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness, I just love this set. It's just so adorable. Okay, so here are our 2 cards that we made today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will be back in a couple of days with some new stuff. And I hope to see you back then. Have a crafty evening. Bye.